The holiday season is upon us, guys. I know that is a fact here in New Zealand because I can finally stop complaining about the bad weather and start bitching and moaning about allergies instead. That's why I look like this right now. But it also is the time of year where I like to have some novelty drinks around the place. So let me show you how to make 3 different drinks that you can have sitting in a bottle on the shelf or in the fridge, ready to pour and enjoy at the drop of a hat. It's basically a cocktail in a bottle, guys. Let's get stuck in. How's it going, chasers? I hope you're having a kick-ass week. I'm Jesse and this is Still It. Like I said in the introduction, I do like to have a few novelty drinks around during the holiday season. It seems fitting being able to, pop the fridge open or grab a bottle off the shelf and drink something that's a little bit decadent, a little bit different to what you normally drink and just give you a little bit of variety. I've spent all day testing them. It's been a rough job trying all sorts of different variations, I tell you, but someone has to do it, guys. Let's get stuck in with the first drink, which is an old-fashioned in a bottle. The first thing we need, obviously, is the booze. And I'm using 700 mils of my polenta whiskey. So the reason I'm using this is the closest thing that I have to a rye whiskey. I don't have any rye. This doesn't have any rye in it. But it has some of those earthy, spicy sort of characters coming through, mostly from the wood, I think. Now, a quick note, guys. All of the things we're making today, you can make them with different kinds of booze, like the stuff that you make at home is going to be different than the stuff that I make at home. You can use, whatever brand you've got. Not a problem. But I would just recommend maybe do a little tincture in a glass, like basically a scaled down version of the recipe, just to see if it works for you, just to check. Anyway, so 700 mils of this, and this is, for me, pushing 50% at the moment. It's about 48%. This recipe is going to make a 750 ml bottle, just so you know, guys. Next up, 70 mils of simple syrup. Yes, I'm measuring my simple syrup with a syringe. I love these things. I would much rather use something like this to be more accurate in measuring smaller amounts. 70 mils. The star of the show, really, in terms of added flavor for this one, is the Grand Marnier. Am I saying that right? I don't know if I'm saying that right. Tell me if I'm saying it wrong. I'm sure I'm saying it wrong. This stuff, the orange flavored liqueur extract, 6.5 mils of this stuff, and I am going to measure quite accurately with this because, there's only 6.5 mils and quite a lot. A small difference is going to make a big difference here. Once again, this is why I love the syringes. 6.5 mils in there. Woo, that smells like orange, funnily enough, which is why we're putting it in there. Next up, and controversially, 5.5 mils of black cherry. I know. Some people just really don't like cherries garnishing their old fashions. I am a glutton, and I like to have orange and cherries. So, yeah, that's what we're doing. Next up, Angostura. And we need 90 drops of this, which is going to take forever. So I've kind of converted everything to mils for me. If you want to tip it out like this and then measure it with a syringe, be my guest. If you would prefer to sit there and count 90 drips, that works too. It's up to you. And that's it, guys. A gentle little stir, and we can bottle it. Let's put it in a Maker's Mark bottle, shall we? And of course, all we need to do is bottle it up without spilling anything, hopefully. Our first drink is bottled up and ready to go. I'm going to wait until the end and pour all 3 next to each other, sit down and relax and taste them and let you know what I think. Before we go on to making the next 2 drinks, I need to say a big thank you to Olive Nation, who are the sponsors of this video. Thanks for making this video possible, Olive Nation. We appreciate it. Olive Nation is a company that make a extensive range of flavorings and extracts. That can be used for all sorts of things, but let's face it, we don't care about baking so much around here. That's fine. I want to flavour spirits with it, and it's really, really good at that. I've had a bunch of their bottles here for probably about 3 or 4 weeks now, and I've tried them. I've given them to a few other people to taste and smell. Everyone's been pretty impressed with them, and more importantly than that, I've talked to a bunch of you guys out there in the community that are already using these products, that already love them, and are impressed with the service that comes along with this brand as well. 2 last things I need to tell you about Olive Nation. Number one is that we're actually doing a little giveaway, so you guys at home can get some of these sent out to you for free, which is pretty cool. I'll tell you how to enter that in a second. But the other is that if you go to olivenation.com, there's a link down there as well, team, and use the code CTC20, you'll get 20% off on whatever you want to pick up and try at home. I bet you want to know how to enter the competition, don't you? All you need to do is drop a comment in the comment section down below and let me know what product I should make with Olive Nation's essences. You can theoretically use any of their products. Hint, if you want inspiration, go and check their website out. Obviously they're all listed there. Let me know in the comment section down below and I'll pick 2 of those people to get a little pack from Olive Nation. All right, back to the other 2 drinks. This next one is inspired by Southern Comfort, which happens to be my dad's favorite drink. I do quite like the flavor profile of Southern Comfort. What I don't like is the fact that it finishes like you're sucking on a bag of sugar and it tastes nothing like, or feels nothing like, a whiskey in your mouth. So what we're going for here is something that's kind of halfway between a barrel-proof bourbon, I guess, and a Southern Comfort. That's the idea. Now, I don't have anything here that has that real traditional bourbon profile. What I do have is some malted corn whiskey here, which has a really nice sweeter note to it, and also a corn flavour, funnily enough. And I've also got some UJ SSM, which is a little bit weak on the corn flavour now, to be honest, but what it does have is a really interesting wood note. I'm going to mix the 2 of these to get a profile that I like. Pick the nicest bourbon that you like, that you're happy enough to throw into something like this rather than just drink it straight. You know, something that's got good qualities about it but is maybe lacking a little bit. If you really want to know, I'm going to use 200 mils of the UJ SSM and 400 of the malted corn. Once again, I'm going to use the stainless steel bowl that I've rinsed out just to mix everything up in. Next up, 100 mils of simple syrup. 3, 4, 5. Once again, guys, please consider making a small version of this recipe. You know, divide everything by 20 and make it up in a glass and see if you like this flavor profile. If it's too much sugar for you, not enough sugar for you, you get the idea, right? And then that's going to save you making a whole bottle of something that you don't necessarily want. That's the beauty in this hobby, guys. I say it all the time, but you get to make the stuff you want the way you want, which is pretty cool. Now, I am also going to add 70 mils of water, and I'm aiming to get this down to sort of between the 33 to 37% range. And the reason I'm adding a little bit of water is because these are overproofed at the moment. Once again, guys, up to you. If you're using a 40% spirit, you're probably going to land at more like 30% ABV in the end. If that's where you're happy to be, then that's fine. Add the water in as well. Or if you want to be a little bit higher, don't add the water in. Once again, make it your way. On to the star of the show as far as the essences go, and we have peach extract. I understand it is a little bit controversial as to whether or not Southern Comfort actually has peach in it, or any kind of anything like peach. At the end of the day, I'm not worried about making Southern Comfort exactly, I'm worried about making something yum. And this made something yum when I tested it earlier on. How much of this do we need? 5 mils. Now, at this stage, guys, I would suggest, strongly suggest, giving this a stir, letting it sit for 5 minutes just to kind of mellow out and do its thing, and then having a taste. I think if you had a more barrel candy and corn candy kind of bourbon thing going on in here, this would be really close to where you need it. I'm going to add a little bit more to this just to push it in that, just to nudge it a little bit in that direction. You don't have to, it's up to you. 2 mils of vanilla extract, 4 mils of butterscotch extract. Is that 4? Yes, that is 4 exactly. Perfect. And last, but definitely not least, is 1.5 mils of the black cherry again. I quite like this stuff. And last, 1 mil of their natural apple extract. So, all of those things at the end there, I've added just enough that I almost can't taste it. They're there, you could pick them out if you really wanted to, but really at the end of the day, what I'm doing is just kind of pushing it towards the barrel candy, corn candy, and juicy side of things, just to bolden up and help emphasize that peach character. We put quite a lot of it in there to stand out, sort of out past the whiskey, if that makes sense. And whenever you're using extracts, even when you're using a good extract, you run the risk of it turning into quite a one-dimensional flavor. So adding in just a few of these little things in the background to add complexity where the whiskey should have had complexity, adding a little bit more in with those essences gives it a more three-dimensional flavor profile. I don't have a Southern Comfort bottle, but I do have a Drambuie bottle. Is this somehow blasphemous? I guess maybe. Boom, there we go. And last but not least, we're going to do something a little bit different, team. We're going to go out there and make something that's much lower ABV, and it is a dairy one as well. This is going to be a rum and macadamia cream, and I gotta tell you guys, it's kind of freaking awesome. Now, I'm using Buccaneer Bob's rum, and there's part of me that is a little bit sad that I'm taking this rum that I worked so hard, that has been aging for so long, and putting it into milk. But when I tasted the end result, you know what? I'm all for it. This is really delicious, and screw it. This rum is not like a really sweet, like the mass-produced rums that you get all over the place. It's much more like a double pot-stilled Jamaican rum. By all means, guys, use whatever rum you have on hand that you want to use. Just once again, maybe do a little tincture and see if the flavor profiles work out with the rum that you're using. To reduce the risk of things going south with the milk and the alcohol and the curdling and the not so good, what we're going to do is actually add the milk in first. So we need 320 mils of milk. That's going on in here. 100 mils of cold coffee. I'm not using anything special here, but it is a nice, like a really nice filtered coffee that I've let cool down. You could use cold brew if you wanted to, entirely up to you. And that is 100 mils. Next up, we need 240 mils of the rum. I did actually rinse this out because we don't want to curdle the leftover milk in here either. Add it slowly and just give it a little stir as you're doing it. Just to really reduce the chances of anything funny happening with the alcohol in the milk. Especially if you're using a funky sort of Jamaican style pot stilled rum that might have a little bit of acidity or a little bit of funk to it. You never know what's going to happen there. Yeah, it didn't curdle. A couple of the tests I did earlier today did split because I added the milk to the alcohol, not the alcohol to the milk. Luckily, it was only a small amount that did that. 50 mils of simple syrup. That is 20, 40, 50. And I know that doesn't seem like a lot for this kind of product, but we're also using sweetened condensed milk. And we're doing this just to give it a little bit more boost in mouthfeel, give it a little bit more of that milk flavor. I don't quite know how else to describe it. And to add some sweetness as well. That is just a little bit different. So 2 tablespoons of this stuff. Now, if I wasn't an idiot, and I didn't put this in the fridge since I was testing this morning, I could use my syringe again to measure, which would be a lot more accurate and a lot easier. But I put it in the fridge. If you do want to measure with a syringe and it is warm for you, you're aiming for about 30 mils of this stuff. You guys might be wondering what's up with the slightly different designs and all the labels of these bottles. Why do they have this wiggly stuff at the top and bottom? That's not a design. I think what happened is Customs decided to check me out, because apparently I like bringing drugs into the country in essence bottles, and they didn't screw the chai tea bottle back up properly. They opened it, but they didn't screw it up properly. And now everything is covered in chai tea essence. Our whole house smells like it. It's not honestly an entirely bad thing. It actually smells really good. And next up, we need 25 mils of the star of the show here, which is the white chocolate and macadamia flavor fountain flavoring from Olive Nation. At this stage, it tastes very much like coffee and macadamia. That's about it. And there's two other things that I want to add at this point that once again are kind of me tweaking it to my own personal flavor. The first thing that I want to fix, just a tiny little bit of vanilla with dairy always seems to be a good thing. Like just enough that you don't even know it's there, but it just makes the dairy taste more dairy-like. So we're going to do just literally half a mil of vanilla. You won't even know it's there. And the last thing is that the rum has kind of disappeared. And when I was testing this recipe, I thought the answer was to add more rum in, which was nice, but it kind of lost the desserty Bailey's-like esque-ness of this product. And what I found instead, after testing a whole bunch of different things, is adding just a little bit of pineapple essence in there. It does the same thing that the vanilla does for the milk, but it does it to the rum. So it brings the rum flavors that are already there, and it shifts the balance from kind of being really confectionery-like, like almost like a ice creamy sort of balance on your tongue, or a milkshakey kind of balance. And it gives the impression of acidity back just enough to help bring out some of the crazy flavors that are in this. Just enough so it shows up. So I'm going to add that in now. Where's my pineapple essence? Poor old pineapple essence bore the brunt of the chai disaster. Poor man. All right, so 1.2 mils of pineapple essence, and we are done. Yep, the rum comes back. It is crazy. Give this one a good stirring, guys, because that condensed milk can take a little bit of time to sort of incorporate into the rest of it. But don't go beating it. You know, you don't want to do funny things to the milk. I have learned that putting milk products in clear glass bottles is not a great idea. Oh, also team, obviously you're going to want to keep this in the fridge, and honestly I don't know how long it's going to last. I'm going to plan on getting it drunk in 2 weeks. I don't think that's going to be a problem. Before I bring my wife in to taste everything, I need to say a huge thank you to the Patreons. Thank you so much, guys, for supporting me for the last few years and enabling me to get videos out every week. Without you guys, I don't know if I'd be here still, to be perfectly honest with you, so thank you. All right, guys, time to taste this stuff, and seeing as you seemed to enjoy it last time, oh, no. Erin's back. Which one do you want to taste first, babe?
This one. That
one? Okay. That one is the old fashioned in a bottle. Unfortunately, due to, what?
It's got a hint of fish tank.
Oh, God.
It does. I don't know what it is.
As in rotten
like
water
that cleaner,
or cleaner?
The fish tank cleaner.
Yeah, yeah.
The smell, it's a bit fish tank cleaner smelly.
It's almost iodine-y.
Yeah.
Like some of the scotches, right? Also, because of the magic of filming stuff, this ice has been sitting in here for like 20 minutes now and it's all melted. But yeah, try this one. It's still got that, this is it, straight and undiluted.
Yeah, that's really good.
So, I mean, are you happy with that in terms of you can go to the shelf and pour yourself a cocktail instantly? It's like a cocktail in a bottle.
I'm confused by the bottle.
Oh, it's not actually Maker's Mark. I thought you would know that by now.
That's what you just poured, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
And the same as that, but...
That's really different. The ice really messes it up.
The ice really messes with it, eh? Fairly strong whiskey presence. It's gone more Scotch-like than rye-like now. Now that it's been proofed down the other stuff, yeah.
1 ice cube.
Which is interesting. 1 ice cube, she says. There's ice cubes there, you can try it. They're melting a little. Plonk.
And the glass. How much does the glass make a difference?
Oh, probably a decent amount. But I mean, I wouldn't generally have a cocktail in a Glencairn glass. I'd have it in a rocks glass.
Make like a giant Glencairn's glass.
Like this. Gimme.
That's way better. The ice really messed it up. It makes it something fake floral-y about
it's diluted
for me.
too far down.
Yeah.
All right, so this one, once again, is horribly diluted now.
It's very diluted.
Yeah, let's try it diluted. And I'll pour a non-diluted one too.
Whoops.
Yeah, careful. This thing rocks all over the place. People keep telling me that I need to choc it up, and I do. I choc it up, but then I steal the chocking to go and use somewhere else. And it's amazing nothing's actually fallen off yet. I'm imagining that's actually pretty gross now.
It's kind of gross.
Yeah.
It's like actually cough syrupy.
Yeah, it's just like too much water.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, nasty. It's almost bitter.
Yeah, it is bitter. With a hint of fish tank.
Erin's favourite tasting note. And being disgusting and stealing it from the other glass.
Why does this one not seem like it needed an ice cube?
I don't think it really did.
That one's more cough syrupy though than the other one.
It is a little bit, but try this. I haven't had Southern Comfort in ages.
Where did that come from?
I bought it.
Oh.
Today. Especially for this video.
Nothing else I would like.
No.
Like for Christmas.
Yeah, how cough syrupy is that?
Yeah, super cough syrupy. It tastes like cough syrup.
Much more so than this, right?
Yeah.
Honestly, which would you prefer out of those two? You can say the Southern Comfort. That's fine by me.
Yeah, Southern Comfort. It's got that.
Interesting.
I would rather drink the Southern Comfort.
Interesting.
Maybe it's the ice though, because I feel.
Actually, that's a good point. Let's do it side by side. And you're right. It does go kind of bitter as it dilutes. Bitter and astringent, I guess. So this one's a lot higher proof too. It drinks a lot more like whiskey, right? This drinks like a liqueur.
Yeah. Very true.
So
I like both.
So in terms of it being approachable and sweet and smashable, for like one sip, the Southern Comfort's easier drinking. Like if you're not into like my dad would drink this, not this.
Yes.
But in terms of being able to sit down and have like 3 or 4 glasses, one after the other, I would go this because it's not cordial like that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah?
This is a nicer color for summer.
It's true, it is. And this is more cough syrupy to me, right?
Yeah.
More like fake cherry cough syrup.
Very cough syrupy.
This is more fruity and juicy, and I think the fruit flavors in this taste more natural than that.
Yeah.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Oh.
Do we even want to try that? Like, that looks like a watery mess. I don't think I want to drink that. Thank you, madam.
Can be your assistant.
You're a wonderful assistant.
It does look a lot like Bailey's.
It's not supposed to be Bailey's. Go for it. You can
It
have
looks
some.
like, I'm saying
It does. It has
before,
that.
it looks
Yeah,
like
yeah,
Bailey's.
yeah.
Oh, it smells really good though.
It does, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I would drink that bottomlessly. It's delicious. A wee nightcap.
Just a wee one.
Just a wee nightcap.
4
It's
times
delicious.
over.
Oh, it's really good.
So the weird thing about this is that it is luxurious and creamy and dairy-ish. And confection, like it feels like dessert, like confectionery. But then have another drink and think about how actually thick and sweet it is. Like it's actually quite light. And that
Yeah, Bailey's finish is really sweet when I think about more about Bailey's.
Yeah.
Not that I've had it in ages. That's really good. Perfect for Christmas Eve.
Yeah, it is. It is quite Christmassy actually, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's nice.
The macadamia flavour that comes through reminds me of Christmas cake for some reason. Marzipan. It reminds me of marzipan.
Yeah.
Doesn't it? Does it?
Yeah. Yeah, people who make the Christmas cake with the
marzipan layer
icing.
underneath.
Yeah.
Yes. You drank all of it.
I'm not drinking more.
Oh, I need some more.
I have to drive in like 3 hours.
Old fashioned in a bottle.
Yeah.
Macadamia and rum. Oh, I didn't even mention that's rum.
Yeah, really?
Not bourbon. Yeah, go looking for the, think about like the slightly funky.
Said I wasn't going to drink anymore.
Think about the slightly funky, a little bit kind of tropically, banana-y.
Yeah, that's true.
Almost a little bit of hogo, like
Yeah.
just a little bit of funk.
That's funny.
It goes really nice with the nut, eh?
Yeah, it does. That macadamia nut is really good.
Do you think the macadamia nut flavour is too strong?
A little bit strong.
You think it is?
A little bit
Yeah,
too
I think it might be a little bit overpowering. Yeah. I don't know, it's weird.
When you go like this. Tastes like
Like what?
macadamia.
Like what?
You breathe it out. Like when you're breathing
Yeah,
out,
yeah,
keep
okay.
your mouth closed. And you breathe into your mouth. Yeah, like that.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, the retronasal. Awesome.
But hard to get macadamia, isn't it? Is it hard
No,
to make that flavor?
no, it's an essence. Came out of a bottle. This stuff. All right, guys. So if you end up making one of these at home yourselves, please come back to the video, drop a comment, let us know what you think. If you've made something similar to this, let us know as well. We'd be really interested to. Well, I will be really interested to hear what you have to say. And if you like the video, team, please give it a thumbs up. That helps me out a whole bunch. Basically, it tells YouTube that it's a good video and I should show it to other people. Very helpful. If you're not subscribed yet, what should they do?
I think
Subscribe?
you click the button. I have clicked the button.
Oh, thank you. And I'll catch you next time, guys. Keep on chasing the craft. See ya.